Guys, it's me, Tommy, and I'm back again with another video. In this video, I'll be showing you how I did this kinky curly sewing. Yes, it's a sewing, so I'm going to show you my method on how I sew my curly hair in, so let's jump right into it. So this is my base. I have 4 braids going back for my closure. I have 4 at each side, and then I have about 5 braids, I believe, in the back. That's all connected together and tucked away for my sewing. And this is my closure. I have a 4x4 closure, and I have some leave out in the front because I have just like a small widow's peak in the front of my head. So if I was to use the full closure to cover like my entire head, it just doesn't look well. So I like to have a little bit of leave out. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a net to my hair. My hair is long enough to do a sewing without a net, but I like the net because I can place my tracks wherever I want to. The only downside of a net is that you can't really get to your scalp when you're trying to oil it and moisturize it in the sewing. So that's the con of it, but I really like the net because it just helps me with my sewing a little bit better. And my favorite method is to use 2 needles. So I have 1 needle on the right, 1 needle on the left, and then I just connect it together. Once I'm done with that, I'm also going to sew just the top portion of my area where the closure is going to be, because those 2 middle braids in the middle, I'm going to cut the net so that you don't see it underneath my closure. I don't know if it makes a big difference or not, but that's personally what I want to do. So I just take 1 needle and then I take another needle on the side and I sew each side, and then I'm going to cut the middle just for my closure. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the excess net off of my hair. Make sure you guys are really careful not to cut your hair or your ears when you're doing this. I'm looking in my bathroom mirror to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. And now it's time to apply my closure to my head. As you can see, I cut a little bit of that middle out, and then I'm just checking to see if you can see it through, which I didn't show it. I don't even know why I had this clip in here. So now what I did is I added some elastic bands to my closure. Ignore that white spot, that's conditioner. This just helps secure my closure down, make sure that it doesn't move, and make sure that it's nice and taut. As I stated before, I have a 4x4 closure, which is kind of small, so adding this elastic band helps secure it. If my closure was a little bit bigger, I probably wouldn't need the elastic band, but I actually like this method to just sew it down, just to make sure that I have that extra hold when it comes to my closure. Now, this is the kinky curly hair that I'm sampling to add to my business. I'm not sure if you guys know or checked out my previous video. I have a hair business vlog up. My goal for 2018 is to start a hair business and to offer you guys the best and best when it comes to weaves, I guess, or extensions. So I'm personally sampling out a kinky curly texture from my hair vendor. My youngest sister is testing out the straight, and then my older sister is testing out the Brazilian, not Brazilian, because I am not doing that, the body wave. So in order for me to know the true value or give a good review and know that this is good hair for you guys, I am doing a sewing on my head just to see the ups and downs of this hair, to see whether it's worthy or not to be a part of my brand. So that's what the hair is. So I'm not gonna link anything below if you guys are wondering, because it's a sample. But anyway, I'm showing you guys how I do my sewing. I do a U shape when it comes to my curly hair because I like the way it lays across my face with curly hair. I do a different method with the sewing when I'm doing straight hair. I actually go from my nape all the way down to the front of all the way up to the front of my head. But with this, I do a U shape where I start at one end of the closure and then I work my way around my head to the other end of my closure and just keep doing that. One thing that I did do with that first track is I did cut the weft. Please don't do that because that's going to cause more shedding, and with curly hair you're going to experience shedding. So just do the fold over method, which I'm showing you guys right now. Basically, you sew all up to the closure and then make sure that last stitch is nice and intact. And then you're just gonna flip the hair over. One thing about curly hair in this method is you're not gonna see if you're doing the sewing bad because it's curly hair. So it doesn't have to be super neat because your hair is gonna be fluffy and big, versus you having like straight hair where you have to make sure that your sewing is nice and laid. So if you're a beginner with sewings, doing them yourself, I would definitely say to do curly hair because literally you can trick anyone and think that it's like a professional that did it. So anyway, I'm just showing you guys me doing the folding method with my my tracks. making sure that it's nice and tacked down at the fold, and I'm basically just going to continue to sew the weave in. And then this is just me just closing it up. If you guys are wondering, I'm wearing 2 bundles of 16 inches. I did have a little bit of hair left over, and what I did is I just lift up my tracks to see if there's any large spacing and just filled it in. I did order 3 bundles from my vendor, but I didn't need that 3rd bundle. So that 3rd bundle, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna color that bundle, see how it works with color, straighten it out, and things of that sort. So yeah, so I'm just closing up my, my sewing right here. Again, if you didn't watch my vlog, you would not know, but I am not happy about this closure. I really hate that the base is straight and then gets curly. So I probably will find a new vendor. I actually have an update video that I'm gonna bring to you guys in a few days on this hair. But yeah, so right here I'm just showing you guys how I'm shaping the hair out. When it comes to curly hair, even though I got 16 bundles, you can do 16, 14, 12 to get layers. I particularly just like to have one length and then shape it myself so that it frames my face versus, you know, having the different lengths. So this one side is shaped. My hair is semi-dry when I'm shaping my hair. So I kind of get how it looks when it's wet versus, you know, it being fully dry, and it helps me cut the hair a little bit better. So I'm just shaping it out, giving it more volume. As you can see, that has more volume to it, looks really good versus the other side, which is like super flat. So I'm just gonna continue to shape the hair out. Right here, I'm seeing that I need some spacing, actually more tracks to be added into to add more volume with it. And that's when I use the leftover hair to fill in the spacing so that it's nice and full. And that's basically it, guys. So the end clip that I'm gonna show you is gonna be a week later. Not too happy with this hair or the vendor. It's cute and everything, but it's not what I'm looking for my hairline. So stay tuned for my next vlog with my opinion on this hair. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it below, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.